Well, hello, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another night here on Monday's round 5 of the Formula Masters Championship, coming to you live from the Interlagos circuit in Brazil. We're about ready to move over to qualifying here momentarily. But before we go any further, let me introduce my broadcast partner tonight, Brad Maris. Brad, welcome.
Well, hi, Al, and on cue, here we go to qualifying. Yeah, Interlagos circuit. This is a crowd favorite, Al? Man, tough circuit. Tough track. The Formula Masters. We know these things can be a little twitchy. It's going to be a good fight, I think.
Yeah, pretty competitive times leading up to this qualifying session. So a lot of guys running in the 32s here on the hard tire compound. And now some of these guys are dipping into the 31s. You may even see the 30s on the softs. But take a quick look at brief look at the track map here tonight for Interlagos. As you can see,
these things just running right on time, Al. Just don't have any time to get through all our stuff, do we?
No, we don't. 15 corners here. Not many. This one real straight, I guess. After turn 3, but. It's a great track for Center S. Very exciting track to drive. Very important to get your practice in and get it get a good a good appreciation of the track.
Yeah, for the guys that expect to win around here, they're going to have gotten in some laps. And of course, you can see there that turn through 6 through 11 complex, really difficult section through there. The guys that are going to win tonight are going to be guys that are particularly good through that second sector there. So we shall see about that. However, downforce can play a bit of a role around here. Guys that maybe are a little off the pace, you know, you can take off a little downforce, maybe gain some straight line speed, pick up a free spot or two that could play out tonight. We'll see, Al.
On board here with Chris Moses on starting his flying lap here, just getting through the Center S, heading into turn 4.
Yeah, really important complex that Center S. Get a good launch here coming down to this corner, and it's a difficult corner to make just right. You see Chris Moses gets it a little wrong, takes a little wide there in that third gear corner, but a very important one. And all the corners around here are actually pretty darn important. This right-hand sweeper here as well, so it's going to be fourth gear. You want to get into, you want to get on the throttle and stay on it just as early as you possibly can. Now, these Formula Masters cars, a lot of grip. They're going to have a tremendous grip coming around these kind of shoot and squirt corners here, but boy, you have to get on the throttle really super early. Well, listen to Chris Moses there just for a second. Didn't quite get on the throttle as soon as he would have liked, I'm sure. But you got to take some chances through there. High-speed blast, full throttle through here. And coming up already to the last corner, Al. The second gear corner, Chris looks like he managed it pretty well that time. And then it's just up and around and back to the Center S's again. It's a quick track around here. And we could see those times pretty compressed as a result of that, Al. So these guys should be close.
Yeah, it is. The track does drives longer than it is, but pretty quick lap times around here. It's going to be 35 laps for tonight's race, as Chris Moses quickly shoots up to provisional pole. I take that back. That is John Houston jumping up to provisional pole. We just saw David Poole cross the start-finish line, slots into second. Thiago Canola now jumping up. These times are quickly changing up at the top. Ronny Nunez into the 31, so jump on board here with Thiago Canola. Canola is a native of Brazil. He's looking very quick in practice. This is the guy we're going to have to keep our eye on here tonight, Brad.
Yeah, indeed. Well, he came back after a triumphant return there, as we know. Is only collected 2 points finishes. Both of them were fourth place finishes, however. So the 2 races he has attended, well, he's gotten 2 fourth place finishes, and that is Thiago Canola in a nutshell. So showing the best. Showed the best practice time in our official practice there on the softs. Matt Taylor has eclipsed that. But a 31.7 was that practice time as shown by Thiago Canola on the softs.
Canola looking good here in the first sector. A little behind, it looks like, in sector 2. Saw him in the 31s. Matt Taylor just set provisional pole with the 31-4.
Boy, I tell you, that downforce does play a role on these Formula Masters cars here on this track in that second sector. So we will see the variance in times due to that.
David Poole improves on his time, but not good enough for pole position. Canola does not look like he's going to improve. Trussell just sets a 32 flat. Ronny Nunez now with the 31.8. So these guys really on it here early. A couple guys coming out of the pit lane already. Now Chris Moses making his way through the center S on a flying lap. Chris Moses currently slotted into the 7th position. Early on here, it's Taylor, Nunez, and Canola, your top 3 in this qualifying session.
Ooh, taking that, braking very deep, yeah.
That's not going to get it done. Looking further back, Sam Rolfe. Sam Rolfe currently sitting in 15th. Wow, that's almost the same exact thing Chris Moses just did.
Yeah, in one case it was a bit of a braking too late, and another was a little bit too early on the throttle.
Newcomer here on Monday night, Nikita Nemtsev.
Welcome Nikita.
Besides in Canada, he is actually substituting for Ian Jolicoeur here tonight, but I'll tell you what, it's like he's taken to these cars pretty quickly. His practice times were pretty decent here for considering the weight he's going to have to carry here for this opening round for him.
Yeah, good point, Al. Good point. That is a good time, those 25 kilograms. Interesting to note, about half the field is carrying ballast in some form or another due to winner's ballast or penalty ballast.
Looks like Nikita on. Well, it looks like he's bringing it into the pit lane, so Nikita looks like he's backing out of that. But currently watching our provisional pole sitter right now, Matt Taylor, making his way through the center S.
Boy, has Matt Taylor looked strong this season, or has Matt Taylor looked strong? Look, he gave up a few points there at Albert Park last week. Actually didn't have a great run there at Barcelona either, as our viewers may recall. But once again, looking very sharp here is Matt Taylor, second in our championship points, Al.
Up big in the first sector there. Got to wheel off into the grass a little bit. We're not sure if that's going to hurt him all that much. But yeah, I had a tough couple races for Matt, falling a bit behind there in the Drivers' Championship. But looks like he's back on par here tonight.
Well, as you watch Matt drive around there, I cannot tell you how early these guys are actually picking up the throttle coming off these corners. But whoa!
Ooh, that looked like a good lap going there for Matt, but got it a little bit wrong there.
Yeah, the view just doesn't quite show just how early these guys are trying to pick up the throttle through some of these corners. And setup very important here to be able to get the car to rotate and still plant well on throttle.
Sergio Calderon has yet to set a time here as he makes his way. And he is going to set a time of... Well, Greg Myers sets a time of 33-1. Calderon. So that was an outlap. John Houston looking pretty strong here tonight. So this T-Brock Dam Bam duo getting their stuff together here, as John Houston currently ahead of his teammate on the timesheet, sitting in 7th. Parsons right behind him in 8th.
Yeah, Parsons was looking quite sharp, however, in that official practice. I suspect that he will lower that time, but John Houston looking pretty sharp as well, I have to say, in that practice period.
Alex White just check in with the 32.3. White a little bit off the pace here, a little surprising. I know you said that in the practice before we went live.
Yeah, I don't know if Alex White plans on just kind of showing up and putting in some laps and expecting to turn in the results he's used to, but it has not yet happened this season now. I think Alex White's going to have to put forth a little more effort if he plans on trying to nab this championship by the end.
A couple DNFs for him. The last two races kind of took the wind out of his sails after that win at Zandvoort. So Houston comes to the line. And he does not improve on his personal best. Very busy track out there. David Poole making his way out. Trussell coming out of the pit lane. John Watson currently in 21st. A little off the pace for Watson. 2.5 seconds off the pace. 2.8, sorry to be exact.
Yeah, certainly not where he'd like to be. Got another 15 minutes yet to get a lap in, so I'm sure he will. But, you know, for John, it's all about keeping it together during the race. We've seen that in the past. If he can manage to keep it on track, he'll finish strong. If not, well, then he'll be out early.
Championship leader carrying some success ballast here tonight. He is 10th at the moment after that win, dominating win last week. Well, he just improves his time, jumps up to 8th. So, Nato managing the weight fairly well.
Yeah, and the word around the paddock, Al, if I'm hearing right, is a possible injury there for Luis Neto. Possible foot injury or something, huh?
Yeah, I was mentioning of that on the forum, that he was injured his ankle or something like that. But looks like he's going to persevere here tonight and try and run the race here. Parsons on track. Parsons back in 10th. Moses right behind him on a flyer as well. Thiago Canola now jumps to provisional pole with the 31.417, eclipsing Taylor by 0.05 of a second. Great lap. Looks like Chris Moses parked it.
Yeah, Moses did improve, but has since parked it. So that 32 flat, not too shabby, but looking much better. That 31.4 by Thiago Canola. That's a battle up at the front right now.
0.44 of a second the difference. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
So Taylor out on track now, behind the first and second sectors. Poole going to improve? It does not look like he will. Still in 4th, however, 0.6 off the leaders. Nato just starting a flying lap now. Let's jump on board with that leader.
There's just always so much more. You expect so much more front grip there, be able to pick up the throttle early, and it's very common to run wide on throttle there, coming off turn 4. Very difficult corner to be patient on throttle.
Going through now, getting the power down. That one in this final corner here, getting onto that. This front straight.
Yeah, very tricky. You see Lewis opts for 3rd gear. A lot of guys taking 2nd.
Nieto to line. Well, Nunez just improved. Nieto, he's going to stay in 8th. Ooh, Savoy struggling coming out of the pit lane. Nunez still on a flyer here. Pretty short track here. These guys can run multiple laps here in this qualifying session on the softs.
Yeah, they can, and you know, we haven't seen a horrible amount of traffic out there. You know, back when we run GTR2 and our 40 car grids, things can really get bunched up out there. You know, you're always going to have a little bit of traffic, but it hasn't been too bad so far.
Right on board now with Ronny Nunez. Now the 3rd in the championship. Nunez has been having some struggles with his computer. I guess things been crashing on him, so it's kind of a tough deal for him. He crashed out of a race on Thursday last week with just a couple laps to go after leading the race, pretty much dominating the race at Barcelona. Kind of a tough break for him. Probably maybe leading at least one of the championships for those issues he's been having. Improve? He does not, but I'm sorry, Nunez does not improve, but Nieto does. He jumps up to 4th. So outstanding lap for Lewis, carrying those 15 kilograms of ballast.
Yeah, it really is. Ronny Nunez as well there. 3rd provisionally with 10 kilograms also. Luis Neto, that is definitely the highest place at the moment there with those 20 kilograms. Of those carrying 20 or more, he's certainly best at the moment.
Currently watching Mike Graychuk with a great finish last week, finishing 5th. Mike got a little issue there, mowing the lawn with John Watson. What Parsons can do here. He's fallen back to 11th. Hasn't been able to crack into the top 10. His teammate doing a little better. Mike Trusser now in 7th. Trusser carrying some weight as well, so he's got it figured out. Parsons maybe on an out lap here. About to start a flyer. Curtis Chandler, he is back in 17th. Curtis struggling a little bit here tonight.
Yeah, he has one of the drivers in the field that has picked up points in every single event so far this season, Al. So good start for Curtis Chandler.
Excuse me, it does not. David Rowley currently in 13th. What a bad showing for David. Chris Moses exiting the pit lane now. Just about 6.5 minutes to go here before this session ends. Ooh, Rowley with a big snap. Pushing a little too hard. Here with Parsons as he is about to close out this flying lap. He was behind in the first 2 sectors. Very close up front this Canola time. I'm actually a bit surprised, Brad. I haven't seen anybody really threaten that pole. That time that was set early by Taylor. And I think Canola shortly after. I haven't seen much green after that in the sectors. But Parsons does not improve. So
yeah, it doesn't improve.
Canola in the pits. Graychuk says he had to improve. Kevin Savoy sampling the wall. Nunez off in the first sector.
Wow, they're pushing hard now. They know they've got just a couple laps left, and it's put up or shut up time.
It's White slowly but surely creeping up in the standings. He now is up to 8th. Second, separating first through 11th. Really tight times between 4th and 9th. All within a tenth of each other.
Yeah, they're right there. I mean, that's why you see guys going off, because they need the barest margin, and sometimes you just have to push for it.
So no improvement for Nunez. Himself currently in 15th. We talked about Marty Uren here tonight. He is, where is Marty? He is up there. He's in the top 10. So Marty 8/10 off the pole sitter's teammate, Ian Jolicoeur. We mentioned him earlier. Out for this race and the next one due to work commitment. So he was really pushing hard to find someone to sub for him this week. They're in the mix in the team championship. So key to step
He was
up.
indeed. Yeah, glad they found somebody. They need it.
Looking at the lap times here, 1, 2, 3, 4 guys in the 31s, a lot of guys in the 32 flat range. Very tight qualifying session here. Moses is coming to the line here. Let's see what he can do. Is he going to improve? He does not. Is Marty able to improve? Marty did not improve. He stays in 10th.
I just flipped over to some of the sector time, so it's Thiago Canola leading in the last sector, best time, Matt Taylor in the second, and Alex White all the way down there, currently 8th provisionally with the best first sector time, so sector times all over the map.
Ronny Nunez just improved his time, but still only good enough for 3rd. Nieto in 4th. He is even in the first sector. Matt Taylor up in the first sector. Currently watching Luis Nieto. Two minutes to go here.
Yeah, it's coming down to it. Boy, I don't know anybody not named Thiago or Matt Taylor coming away with this thing. The rest of the field just doesn't seem to be able to get down to those times, Al.
Thiago on track. What Nieto can do here. Marty improves, so Marty does not improve his position, but improved his time. Nieto does not improve. Just picked up Matt Taylor, currently in 2nd. Behind in the first 2 seconds. That was kind of botched it there going into that final corner.
Well, he will get another lap if he's got the fuel for it, but this is it's not a huge deal, but it's always nice to pick up the bonus point for collecting that pole position. Won't do Matt Taylor's championships any harm, as well as PMR. Let's not forget this is the team that is leading the team classification as well, Al.
So Taylor does not improve. Well, he's starting to flyer again. Let's see what he can do here.
Oh, it's so critical to carry just the best possible momentum coming out of some of these corners, and boy, if you don't have it, you aren't going to make it up coming down the straight.
Bit of a lockup going into turn 4. Behind in the first sector.
Yeah, Matt Taylor, strongest of the field here in the second sector, so he is definitely running more downforce relative to the other guys. In fact, he is 0.2 of a second faster than the rest of the field in that second sector.
The flag is out. Behind in the second. Amazing run here out of this final corner. It doesn't look like it's going to happen for him.
Yes, and it was Thiago Canola with the very best third sector time, so it is looking dim here for Matt Taylor.
No improvement for Matt. See who's out, still out on track here. Ronny going to close out this lap. He was a bit behind in the first 2 sectors. Don't think he's going to get it done here. Moses is behind him on track. Moses was behind quite a bit as well in the first 2 sectors. So Moses carrying a little bit of weight compared to his teammate. So Ronny improves, but not good enough for... Still going to stay in 3rd place there. Chris Moses is going to bring it into the pits. I think that's going to be it, Brad. Oh, Kevin Miller coming to the line. Miller improved. Just saw Ronny disconnect there, but he should have time to get back in. So Kevin Miller, let's see, where did he end up? Up 18th. Improved on his time. So there you have it. Thiago Canola with his first pole position of the season, Brad, in his home track. Pretty outstanding run.
You know, this is kind of what we expected to see with the return of Thiago Canola. It did take him a couple races to kind of get his Assetto Corsa footing, but let's not forget it was the very first event Thiago showed up. That was his first Assetto Corsa race, so didn't take him long to get up to speed, Al, and here we go. Now the race, of course, is another matter. We know that all of those guys up there all have incredible speed, have won races this season, so it's still anybody's game, but boy, that was pretty exciting, that two-way battle there for the pole position shootout.
All right, sorry. So we got about 5 minutes to go here before this race gets underway. I was just gonna touch on the championship standings here for tonight. Excuse me. Luis Nieto leading all right now in the Drivers' Championship with 75 points. Matt Taylor, excuse me, in second with 59. Ronny Nunez in third with 57. Chris Moses and Ian Jolicoeur are tied for fourth with 56 points, but Jolicoeur, like I said, is out for tonight's race, so he's going to take a hit there in the standings for the driver's side. Aaron Parsons in fifth with 49. In the team championship, PMR, that's Chris Moses and Matt Taylor, they are leading overall with 115. Monty Python Racing, that's Ronny Nunez, and David Poole, they are in second with 95 points. Kung Fu Racing's Marty Uren and Ian Jolicoeur in third with 83. Team Formula Winning, Trussler and Alex White, fourth with 79. T-Brock Dambam, John Houston, and Aaron Parsons in fifth with 77. So really tight overall here, Brad, but in both championships.
You know, particularly in that Drivers' Championship, see Luis Nieto out there with a bit of a lead, but let's not forget, it's 12 race seasons now, okay? So they have more races than they might otherwise have in our traditional 10-race seasons, and Luis Nieto's out there a bit, but you know what? If I'm involved in this championship and I'm all the way down there in 10th, I'm thinking, well, shoot, I'm only about a race worth behind second. And Nieto has a bit of a lead, but anything happens to him, and I figure, boy, if I get a win, I'm right back in this thing. And it is completely wide open now. So Nieto, and he's got the weight. We saw him qualify in that 4th position. Hopefully Ronny Nunez will get back in, but he looks like he could be vulnerable tonight. So these guys are going to make a serious challenge, and I think we're going to see that points shake up going into next week.
Yeah, so let's run down the starting order here tonight. We suspect Nunez to jump in. He is slotted in 3rd at the moment, but we'll see if he gets back in time. So I'm going to include him in the rundown here. So starting from pole, we mentioned his first pole of the season, Thiago Canola, followed by Matt Taylor 2nd, Ronny Nunez in 3rd, Luis Nieto 4th, and David Poole is going to be 5th. Yeah, there he is. He just
nice. Hopefully he'll hold up. He has had some technical difficulties, as mentioned. Chris Moses, however, will take 6th place. Mike Trussler with some weight, as well as Chris Moses, takes 7th. Alex White languishing perhaps a bit in 8th. John Houston takes 9th. And Marty Uren slots 10th.
Uren Parsons, 11th. Surprisingly, well, he is carrying some weight, 15 kilograms, so he is back in 11th. Jonathan Cuppets in 12th. He's got 10 for penalty. 13, David Rowley. Kevin Savoie starting 14th, and Nikita Nemcev, he's going to start 15th with 25 kilograms, so not a bad start for him.
No, indeed, and Gregory Myers is going to slot behind him in 16th. Curtis Chandler took 17th. Kevin Miller's going to start 18th. Chuck Carter took 19th, and John Wathenson 20th.
Mike Greatrix going to start 21st. Calderon 22nd. Sam Rolfe 23rd. Story's going to start 24th, and Oscar Lithgow starting in 26th from the back, and he has got 30 kilograms of penalty weight. So that's the rundown here tonight, Brad. It's going to be interesting to see how this thing shapes up here, but what are you thinking in terms of the race going here tonight? You think it's going to be a Canola-Taylor battle here?
Well, I don't know if it's going to be a Canola-Taylor battle. All I know is that if I'm sitting on the grid, the only thing I'm thinking about is surviving the first couple corners, Al. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. You can't have any type of result, man, if you are crashed and against the wall on the opening couple corners. I tell you that. Other than that, I'm expecting a great race. I think it's going to be a close one all the way through, Al.
The lights are on. We got Canola and Taylor on the front row. Both those guys have yet to win a race here in AC. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Green flag here. Canola and Taylor side by side into the center S. And it looks like it's going to be Canola leading the field. Right behind them, him is Taylor, Nieto, and Ronny Nunez shuffled backup spot. Looks like the field's getting through pretty decently here. Taylor really pushing hard there for that lead. I think he pushed a little too hard as Nieto's going to slide up alongside of him. Side by side.
Matt Taylor figures to have better speed. He doesn't want Nieto in front.
Wow, these guys running very aggressively here, but so far pretty clean, Brad. Wow, what a great start so far. Gonna jump on board with Taylor, see if he can get a run on to Canola here down the straight. Taylor looking on the inside, not much room there. Taylor's going to duck in behind Canola, locking up the brakes. Ooh, David Poole taking a little bit too deep. Got Alex White and Chris Moses duking it out here. White has moved up to 6th. Great start between him and his teammates, 6th and 7th.
And we know Alex White tends to get faster as the race goes on.
Ronny Nunez looking on the inside of Nieto. Nieto out on the grass, and he's going to get the pass made. What a start here, Brett.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch some of your battles yet. I've been back a bit further in the field, Al, so I'm looking forward to moving up and seeing what's going on.
Gonna jump on board here with Alex White. Looks like White dropped the position to his teammate. Might have made a slight mistake here.
Yeah, I didn't catch it, though. I did see that position swap on the broadcast information.
Chris Moses looking to take a run here on David Poole going into turn 1.
Wow. Wow.
Moses gets the pass made. Wow, he's right. That was very close.
That was an extremely difficult pass. That's a 9 out of 10 on the difficulty scale, Al.
Matt Taylor has gotten past Thiago Canola. This is for the lead, folks. Ronny Nunez right there as well. Three-way battle here for the lead.
Boy, and Ronny Nunez still holding pace with that weight. We'll see if that happens over the course of the remainder of the race.
Might have been a little bobble there from Canola. May let Nunez past. Nope, Canola's going to defend on the inside. Advantage, Canola. This is only going to help Taylor.
Boy, it sure will, especially after just completing that pass, and he doesn't have any pressure behind him right away, so that is a nice feeling to have.
Luis Nieto in this mix as well, as is Chris Moses. Gotta wonder that downforce on Canola might be carrying a little bit more downforce here than the rest of the field.
Well, I tell you, looking at that Matt Taylor second sector time, I know that he's carrying quite a bit. Don't know if that'll have any impact on him, but this is where Matt Taylor needs to be, is out front, controlling the pace of the race.
Wow. Pass attempt by Ronny Nunez. Canola defends well. I mean, this is pretty intense here. You see the guys dicing back and forth further back in the field. David Poole now under a lot of pressure here from Mike Trussler, Alex White, John Houston with a great start.
Yeah, Matt Taylor already eking out another couple tenths of a second here over that battle for second.
Yeah, that gap, 1.2 seconds. Canola, Taylor over Thiago.
Well, sorry, are we ready? I have to say that I'm a little surprised here. I'm not sure. Chris Moses is actually looking pretty racy. I was a bit surprised to see his qualifying time and not being quite up there, but he is right up there in fifth and not looking to give up anything to those guys in front. So race pace looks good for Moses.
Big lockup from Matt Taylor going into one. Canola doing a great job with managing this pressure from Ronny. Ronny looks like he's got pace over Thiago.
Well, in terms of the unflappable factor, I have Canola, Nunez, and...
Oh, Canola just took it off. I think he got a little spooked there by that move from Ronny, and that's going to drop him back to 6th, 5th, perhaps. David Poole's looking to get past. So Canola was defending on the inside there, going into Ford. I think he was a little too defensive there, and Ronny nearly got into the back of him and kind of spooked him. But let's see what Nunez can do now, if he can now close that gap up to Matt Taylor. Nieto has not allowed Nunez to drive off here. Chris Moses is hanging onto the back of these guys. Then you got a gaggle of cars here. David Poole, Canola, Trussler. Trussler now having a look on Canola here on the inside. Oh, Trussler might have hit that inside wall, going 3 wide into 1. Gotta be wondering what's going on with Canola here. He's getting swallowed up.
Yeah.
David Poole has gotten past Tiago, and Trussler's looking to get past. John Houston having a look on the inside of Alex White. And White gives up that position. So Houston moves up a spot. I can look further back here. Marty Uren running in 10th. Behind him is Kevin Savoy in 11th. Parsons back in 12th. Cuppett behind him. So Parsons struggling here. Unable to make up any ground. Kurt Chandler up to 14th. Followed by Kevin Miller, Greg Myers in 16th. John Wathan running in 17th. Chuck Carter back there in 18th. Nikita Nemtsev running in 20th, and behind him is Mike Greatrix. Oscar Lithgow, who had a start penalty, is running 22nd, followed by Rally, Story, and then Calderon. And that's your running order.
Yeah, Sam Rolfe, our only retirement from this race, unfortunately. It was Luis Nieto just recently making a mistake and allowing Chris Moses through for that 3rd position now. So here comes PMR, now 1st and 3rd.
So that gap between Taylor and Nunez is starting to shrink. It was 2 seconds. It is now down to 1.4.
Boy, is Ronny Nunez fast or what? I mean, boy, give him any situation, any car, any weight, and he seems to find a way so far this season now.
Ooh, we have a moment here. David Poole gets mixed up. Trussler gets forced off track. And that's going to move Poole down to, it looks like, 12th. Wow. John Houston, again, did the same move on Trussler that he did on White. Houston really aggressive here early on.
Boy, you look at it, Al. David Poole now getting put back there into the 12th spot. Well, that's only 10 seconds off the lead at the moment, Al, so this field's still very close and bunched up.
Gap continues to drop between Taylor and Nunez. Got my eye on that.
Yeah, and it's good that you do. I think that all 3 of those guys could be coming together. Chris Moses is showing some very fine pace here now that the race has settled in a little bit, and he only continues to get stronger as well.
Look at fast laps so far this race. Chris Moses leading overall with 32.3. You're right, he is racing. Houston going to try that same move here on Canola. Ooh, Canola gets it off into the weeds. Off into the weeds. And he's going to lose a spot. Nearly lost it, but it's going to give up a spot to Trussler and White. So Canola here coming unglued. That is
boy, he sure is. That, yeah.
rallies, John, so out of the race.
God, 5 non-points finishes for David Rally. Are you kidding me? What's going on over there on the island, Al?
I think that's 5 DNFs.
Holy cow. Gonna have to sit down with that lad.
Chris Moses has closed the gap up on Ronny Nunez. This is for second. Ooh, what a run he got on him. It's gonna be close here.
Boy, the outside move
is going to get
again.
the pass made. Ronny going to have a look on the inside. Whoa, big lurch from Ronny, but Chris Moses finally gets that pass made.
I believe he is going to make it stick, at least for a while here. Chris Moses tends to set up pretty loose on entry. That is certainly helping him through the first corner, but he can sometimes struggle later on in stints with those tires going off. Wow, blistering pace so far to this
really is.
event, Al.
Oh, Trussler is gone.
Oh.
Man, not sure what happened to him. Further back. Houston has gotten past. We saw that. Canola now getting pushed here by Marty. And not sure what happened to Alex White. He is back at 21st in the pits. So we must have missed some kind of incident. And White's gone.
Well, that's been a common thread for Alex White this season now.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth.
I'm trying to phrase it kindly, but frankly, I'm having trouble doing it. But it is late in that part of the world, and it's but you know, I got 45 minutes to run. It's not like it's the end of the world here.
Nope, Savoie.
Oh, they're dropping like flies, Al.
Yep. So
wow, Savoie had...
Go ahead.
Sorry, Al. Had gotten himself up there into the top 10. So, not sure what happened there, but I have to assume that is a pretty heavy accident.
Chris Moses starting to put some distance between himself and Ronny. Nieto running there in 4th, followed by John Houston with a tremendous start to this race, up to 5th now. Well ahead of Tiago Canola, who has dropped our pole sitter here for tonight, dropping back to 6th. Behind them, it's Marty Uren and Aaron Parsons here dueling it out.
Yeah, real quickly, it looked like Chris Moses did have a bit of a mistake coming out the final corner. Ronny Nunez challenged him to turn 1, could not quite get the job done. Whoa.
Aaron Parsons nearly gets into the back of Marty. Caught off guard there a little bit, but did a good job of saving that.
Yeah, and if John Houston is the driver of the night, I think Marty Uren has to be a pretty close second. These guys have managed to make some nice passes out there on track and have improved their position through those passes.
Further back, Cuppet here running in 10th. Greg Myers in 12th, followed closely actually by John Wathen. So good start to the race for Wathen after a bit of a disappointing qualifying session. Ratrix running in the points. Chuck Carter and Nikita Nemtsev having a good battle here. This is for points as well, so good debut here for Nikita. Pepsi.
Yeah, as you watch him driving around, looks like he's picking up another possibility of making another challenge into turn 1. So perhaps he is running some aerodynamic lower stuff.
A little bobble there from Moses, getting hung up on the curbing. This might give Ronny a run.
You know, I was just mentioning Chris Moses' setups tending to go off after tires get worn. I wonder if we're seeing that, Al. Just not able to maintain the same type of aggressiveness that he was. Now, all three of these drivers battling for this second position, carrying weight. Luis Nieto, the 20 kilograms, whereas the other two carrying just 10.
I'm going with Nieto. MSEF has gotten past Chuck Carter, so he is up to 14th.
Yeah, showing his racecraft there, Al.
Nieto. Late on the brakes. So this has allowed, this battle here between Nunez and Moses has allowed Matt Taylor to jump out to a 4-second lead. And now Nunez may get a run here on Chris Moses into 1.
Definitely an aerodynamic advantage for Ronny Nunez, no doubt.
Advantage Nunez this time around.
Boy, that was sure a tough spot for Chris Moses to be in. Perhaps the tires are going off a little bit, knowing a guy he's just going to have a lot of straight line speed on you.
Nieto now having a look on the inside of Moses. And he gets it done, so Moses losing 2 positions here.
Well, Matt Taylor's out front. Now we know that the PMR boys are sharing very similar setups, so they could be on exactly the same one as a matter of fact. So we'll see if these second and third now can reel in first.
Quickly coming up on stops here for these guys that pitted around lap 17 or 18.
Yeah, since we've had those drops, the gaps have opened up a little bit, but still 15 seconds here. 9th to 1st, relatively close.
Yeah, interesting. Now Ronny and Nieto starting to really pull away from Chris Moses, and Chris Moses is now
Houston
getting threatened here by John Houston. You got to wonder what's going on here with Moses.
Well, I think perhaps he did get a little flustered, but then I think the setup just started going away from him. Al, I think he could have been a little aggressive here with the setup. It showed good speed early, but now not so much.
So Luis Nieto now has set fast lap of the race with a 32.2 with the weight.
Yeah, very impressive, and I was a little curious if he was going to be able to... Sorry, did you see something?
Okay.
Oh, I was a little curious as to whether he was going to be able to hold that pace that he started with. Slipped off a little bit, and I thought, well, here we go. He's going to slip down through the order a little bit, but not so much. He has found a way to drive around the changing setup.
John Houston now putting the pressure on Chris Moses. Looks like it might be working here for Houston.
All these drivers involved right in the thick of this championship, and let's not forget it's Matt Taylor looking to pick up points on Luis Nieto, so it's still nip and tuck out there at the front. And I tell you right now that this is on these drivers' minds as they push it for speed around this track.
Yeah, I gotta wonder if Moses has suffered a little bit of damage here, because Houston now just blows past him on the straight. and he's going to take that position away.
Boy, we didn't see him pick up any damage, did we?
No, I don't think so. I don't know if we might have banged a wall or something, then through the center S at some point, or who knows, but his pace has certainly fallen off here dramatically.
Yeah.
So John Houston's incredible run here continues now, jumping, moving up to 4th, now just 7 seconds off the leader, his teammate running in 8th. Guys trying to work their way past Sergio Calderon here, who is a lap down already.
You know, we saw Houston's teammate Aaron Parsons finally kind of right the ship for that team last week, picking up the 2nd place at Albert Park, but I can't say they've truly figured it out, and I certainly wouldn't have figured it'd be John Houston that would before his teammate Aaron.
Speaking of Parsons, he is now under some heavy pressure here from David Poole. This is for 8th.
Yeah, and that's a battle I've been kind of keeping my eye on there too. All 3 of those guys, 7th through 9th, quite close at the moment. And David Poole, we know that he's got good speed, but got dropped back early due to a bit of an incident. Wow, so as you say, stops coming up shortly, and it'll be interesting to see who's going to blink first here. That gap suddenly down to about 3.5 seconds, yep. Nunez to Taylor.
Just notice that pop up here. Now Chris Moses under pressure from Canola. Looking to recover here after his submarine-like start. So if Moses does have damage, you got to figure he is in his pit window at this point. Which this is all speculative at this point, but
yeah, it is. I didn't see Chris pick up any damage. He was running. Yeah, I mean it's possible. I kind of tend to think he's just a little out of sorts at the moment now.
But the gap quickly falling down now. It was nearly 5 seconds between Nunez and Taylor. It is now down to 3 and change. Moses is going to dive into the pits. He does.
Yeah, time for a little break.
Did a little fake on Canola there. So Nunez and Nieto pretty much running lockstep here tonight. So you gotta wonder if these two may be plotting to try and reel in Taylor here, which looks like they are starting to do. Just picked up Matt Taylor. Let's see what he decides to do. His teammate has already come in. Let's see if he decides to come into the pit this time around. Working lap 17. Scheduled 35 laps.
Well, I think it was either a case of damage or wanting to hit the reset button for Chris Moses. If you're Matt Taylor, I think you stay out till you have some scheduled service coming up. But that pressure will continue to build for Matt Taylor as he continues to seek his first.
Taylor in.
Nope, he's in, huh?
Nunez and Nieto have stayed out. Now let's see what Taylor comes out relative to his teammate, who is behind Jonathan Cuppet. TMR the first ones to act here.
Boy, Boy, John Houston in, but I tell you, that John Houston was picking up time on both Nieto and Canola. So I think that is a position. Yeah, I think those are positions John Houston thinks he's got a real legitimate shot at nabbing before the end of this race.
So,
and I don't blame him.
So Taylor comes out about nearly 10 seconds ahead of his teammates, so you got to wonder if there was some damage there for Moses.
Yeah, it's a possibility. We just perhaps didn't pick it up.
Kevin Miller in the pits. It looks like Houston has pitted. He comes out ahead of Chris Moses on track. Nieto and Nunez, they're due to come in.
Boy, those are some fast stops. Just lightning.
Nieto coming into the pits.
Oh, wait a minute. Who's slow on track? I think somebody ran out of fuel. Aaron Parsons looks like he's out of fuel out.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yep, he's done. He's out of gas. Unbelievable. That's the first we've seen. Maybe he got his timing off here, or lap, or strategy, who knows, but that is unreal. That is not a mistake you typically see from him.
Well, not going into your first stop, and especially sometimes at the end of the race, you make a miscalculation, you aren't looking, you're involved in a heated battle, but wow. Okay.
I mean, that's just a case of guys cutting it really close on their fuel strategy. But, wow. Incredible.
Huh.
So let's see here. Nieto has pitted. He is 4 seconds in arrears of Matt Taylor, who has already pitted. Cuppet has yet to pit. Taylor in some traffic now. This isn't going to help him. He's got Sergio Calderon ahead. Calderon looks like he's going to let him pass.
But that time about the same as when they entered the pit, so even Stevens as far as that goes, and John Houston looks like he had a good stop, so he maintained position relative to those guys as well, about 5 seconds back of Nieto.
Houston has gotten past Cuppet. Trying to pick up our leader currently. Oh, Chris Moses just throws it way off track. Big mistake from Chris. So Canola and Nunez have yet to pit. The gap is about 6 seconds.
Yeah, the gap 6 seconds, but only 18 to Matt Taylor. And Nunez was what, 4.5 when Taylor came in for his stop. Well, 15 laps to run, so you got to be wondering if Nunez or Canola are maybe thinking about trying the old double stint. Will earn them about 5 to 6 seconds there in the pits, Al.
Yeah, it would be quite the move here if these guys elect to do that. It looks like they may, as Nunez is going to stay out. Working lap 21.
Yeah. I mean, the laps are ticking off here. We're definitely way over halfway.
Yeah, it makes you wonder how Parsons got it wrong there. Obviously didn't take a full tank of fuel.
Yeah, it's inconceivable. I just don't know what to say about it. I mean, he obviously meant to come in on lap 19 or 18 and didn't do it.
Great battle here brewing between Greatrix, Nikita, and Oscar Lithgow. This is for 11th. Nemtsev has pitted. Not sure about Greatrix. So pretty impressive run here from Nemtsev, running almost in the top 10 here.
It is an impressive run. Now, look, frankly, he's had a little, and with the weight, he's had a little bit of help, though. Savoie, White, Trussler, even Rowley, you know, a lot of guys you would expect perhaps to have finished ahead of him, kind of pulled the parachute here. But nonetheless, yes, a very nice debut. Experienced sim racer. I mean, let's make sure we give credit where it's due.
Brian Story with an off. Heads up move there by Lithgow, seeing him coming on track.
I'm really looking forward to hopefully seeing Oscar Lithgow have a very clean race. He hasn't had the cleanest of races, but he's shown good speed and relative newcomer here, so hoping he has a good clean run tonight and get those penalties out of the way. And I mean, he's obviously, with those penalties, still running out there in 13th with a ton of weight, Al, so hopefully the guy will get it figured out.
Yeah, running 30 kilograms ballast. Richard's doing all he can to keep these guys behind. Chris Moses under some intense pressure from Houston. Looks like Houston might have went off. Nunez and Canola still leading the race here. That gap between Taylor and Nieto, about 5 seconds.
Boy, I tell you, that gap has remained exactly the same. Matt Taylor in third, Ronny Nunez in the lead. Sorry, there's something going on. And Thiago Canola there with the same gap as well. So all three of those guys more or less in lockstep with each other. It's all going to come down to those pit stops for those two out front.
So really good run here. This is back for the battle for 10th. Jump back up front here. This battle between Chris Moses and, I can find him. Looks like Lithgow might have made the move on Nemtsev, so he gets the pass made. Just caught the tail end of that. Okay, so yeah, Houston and Chris Moses. This is through the center S. Moses fighting off John Houston there, up to 5th now.
Yeah, John Houston really cautious there on the inside, making absolutely sure he didn't make any mistakes. So probably the right thing to do. But if you're John Houston, I know he's really thinking he can possibly still get up to those guys in front of him, some of those positions. But he will have to be more aggressive than he's been if he expects to have a shot at that. Laps are winding down.
Houston, Moses taking him very wide. Houston pushing quite hard here. Seeing him go off into the grass. Chris Moses looking to get around Sergio Calderon. A little bit of contact from Sergio and Moses. Well, obviously that's going to impact Chris Moses' night here. We've had some issues of late with some lap cars, so I think sure if that was an abrupt move there from Sergio that caught Chris Moses off, but no doubt going to have some damage to the front wing of that car now.
Yeah, I'm just not sure. We'll have to watch it in replay, but regardless of if it was or not, Chris Moses has got some smoke pouring out of the ears, I'm sure.
To this battle between these three for 10th.
Looks like John Houston has gotten past. Looked like a bit of a mistake there for Chris Moses going through turn 4. And John Houston will pick up that 5th position.
So you're going to have to keep an eye on that gap, see if Chris Moses starts to fall off the tail of Houston after that contact with Calderon. So pretty great battle here going between these 3 guys. Closest battles on track currently. We got our leader, Nunez. Looks like he is out of the pits now. Canola in the pits. Catch back up with that. See what Taylor. Ooh, Nunez comes out ahead of Matt Taylor.
Wow, John Canola must have taken tires.
So Nieto's in 3rd, and Canola's going to come out in 4th ahead of Chris Moses, it would seem, and John Houston. Whoa! Oh, contact for Houston and Canola. That's going to be tough for. That's going to be tough for both those guys. So, all 3 of them, Houston, Canola, and Moses, now suffered some sort of aero damage.
Yeah, Houston wanted to make the move as early as he possibly could there. I don't know. It might have been a little aggressive, but we'll see. Nonetheless, it will be a tire advantage for Thiago Canola. Looks like the pace is holding up pretty well, but that should bear a little bit of fruit here over the last 10 laps for him.
Moses making a run on him here. Canola, if he did take tires, this opening lap or 2, pretty tough on cold tires, so it's going to be. Looks like Moses is going to have the advantage here down the straight. So Moses does get past. So, the gap out front now, it is Ronny Nunez holding serve over Matt Taylor by nearly 5 seconds. Now at this point, it's a matter of, as these guys were running pretty identical lap times, it's a matter of Nunez maintaining that pace and maintaining his connection here.
Yeah, and if you're Ronny Nunez, no doubt you've got to be scared as heck about that. Don't want to gift Matt Taylor one like Matt Taylor gifted Nieto in our first event by dropping out. No doubt he is very nervous about that.
Taylor coming up on some lap traffic. Up ahead, that's uncomfortably in 2nd. And you got to give credit to Nieto carrying all that success ballast, doing a great job running in 3rd. Man, this guy has really figured these cars out.
Yeah, he has, and I think that really is a big part of it. I think that the setup is actually, frankly, pretty darn crucial on these cars, and particularly not only get them to run fast, but to hold up over the course of a tire stint, or a double stint in the case of Ronny Nunez, and they have done it. Looks like Matt Taylor is eking out a little bit of time. He will have a slight tire advantage, but the laps are running out, so Matt Taylor is going to have to push.
Aaron Parsons, do you copy?
Hello, Al.
Hey, I know tough end for you tonight, but I gotta ask you, was it a fuel issue?
Yeah, I made a stupid decision not to pit behind Marty. I thought I had enough for another lap, but a few hundred meters short.
Well, we see you're
Wow.
watching your teammate now. He's having quite the run here, running in fourth. How's he? Have you been talking to him much at all, or how's he been pretty concentrated, pretty quiet up to this point?
We like to keep it fairly quiet in the channel. We can concentrate on driving. The car felt pretty good over a long haul. We were pretty happy with it. How it did performed over a whole stint, even though it didn't have incredible one-lap pace. It was pretty comfortable.
Yeah, well, it's sure looking pretty comfortable for John Houston tonight. It looks like he has been particularly aggressive, has paid off in almost all circumstances. One maybe a little questionable, but nonetheless a very strong fourth place. And I have to say, looked like he had a little bit of pace there on Nunez and Nieto before those stops came up. So yeah, a very strong run, and hopefully a little bit of positive news for you guys going forward. Of course, you picked up your second place there at Albert Park last week. But going forward, hopefully that'll pay some dividends for you guys.
Yeah, it's getting comfortable in this car is almost like searching for a needle in a haystack. Finding the sweet spot in both driving and setup is really hard. Sometimes you have no idea which direction to go in, whether you're going the right direction or the wrong direction. So finally found something last week. It made it a lot more comfortable. John continued working on the car and came up with a good setup for this track too.
Well, tough night for you, as hate to see that happen to you, but you were having a pretty good run there, and good luck next week, buddy. We'll get him back.
Thanks, Al. Thanks, Brad.
Yeah, so interesting circumstance for him. Like you said, he got a little bit wrong in his strategy there and cost him, well, a DNF here tonight.
Yeah, and going back to what he was saying about finding the setup, it is really true that it is difficult at these Formula Masters cars, particularly trying to get them to hold up for an entire tire stint and still be comfortable, being able to make pace. That's the key.
On board now with Lithgow. He's been trying to get past Graychicks here for some time. Graychicks having none of it. He's doing a good job running in the top 10. Top 10 finish last week for Graychicks. Got a little bit wrong there going through the center S, and I think it just cost him that 10th spot. Let's see what happens here going up to turn 4. Looks like Lithgow is going to get that pass made, so it's going to drop Graychicks down a spot. Keeping an eye on the gap to the leader. It is now under 4 seconds, 3.7 between Nunez and Taylor. And Nieto, after his stop, has fallen 12 seconds behind. So pretty interesting. They were about Nieto and Nunez were about 4 seconds off Taylor, who was leading at the time up to once the pits happened, but not sure what happened to Nieto during his stop. Got it a bit wrong.
I postulated it was probably tires for Lewis. I suspect he may have taken tires. Quickly going back to Mike Graychicks, you know, I should comment on him. Mike has put in actually quite a fine run here tonight. Just now slipping out of the top 10, but unfortunately, but nonetheless, pretty solid night for Mike.
Looks like he's been put a lap down. David Poole 2 laps back in 18th. Not sure what happened to him, but just got past, put another lap down by his teammate. Chandler running in 14th. Taylor behind him, looking to get past Brian Story running in 19th. Chuck Carter in 15th. So these guys pretty spread out up to this point.
Yeah, I would say it's still that 5th place battle somewhat in doubt. But they're, well, Houston, Moses, and Canola, they're actually in 4th, with Marty lurking not too far back. So any mistakes from one of those, and those positions will swap very quickly. Ooh, great tricks back in front of Lithgow on the timing and scoring.
Just picked that up. So not sure what happened to. You got to wonder if that damage is affecting Tiago Canola and contact he had with John Houston. He was pushing Moses there for a little bit, but looks like that gap has been tough for him to overcome. But we haven't talked much about Marty. He is running solidly in the 7th position here.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And what an effort from Marty Uren. Not looking lost, but certainly looking a little suspect there in that qualifying period. And the fill-in Nemcev there for Ian Jolicoeur running 12th. Well, that'll earn that team some solid points. So 3rd in the championship, if memory serves. Al, they can use them.
Yeah, Marty, he's got about 4 seconds between him and Canola, so he may close that gap up by the time this race is over, but he's got miles ahead of Cuppet there in 8th. So it looks like
it has been.
Sorry, it looks like Nemcev has dropped off this battle with Lithgow. Not sure what happened there, but he's pretty quietly running at the moment in 12th on the lead lap, and Greg Myers behind him. Go ahead, Brad. Sorry.
I was going to say we've had such an intriguing battle at the front. We have missed some of the very, very good ones also throughout the entire field, but they certainly have been having them.
So that gap now between Nunez and Taylor is 4 seconds and change. Taylor's just unable to answer. He can't. Can't claw into that lead of Nunez.
And it just hasn't changed at all, has it? And if you're Matt Taylor, I think you got to be thinking, well, hey man, I took tires here. I should have some type of tire advantage, but Nunez has just managed to make him hold up.
So the field pretty spread out.
Yeah, we've talked about the Marty Uren run and the Wathen run, and I guess well, we have time. Might as well mention that Jonathan Cuppet run there in 8th. Now he qualified well down the order.
Yeah, he certainly did. But hey, you know, Wathen had a great run. Barcelona a couple weeks ago, finished 10th in the top 10, and he's in the top 10 here again tonight. So it looks like qualifying, you know, kind of like Greg Myers, Wathen not qualifying that well, but getting it together come race time here, and it's paid off for him. So fast lap of the race continues to be Luis Nieto with a 32.299. Doesn't earn him any bonus points, just you know, bragging rights.
Yeah, well, if you're Luis Nieto, and if you're our championship leader like he is, you don't mind picking up 3rd spot here. Yeah, Matt Taylor's going to pick up a few points. Ronny Nunez is going to pick up a few more. But you know what? This is part of that championship run. Is when you have the weight, when you maybe don't go after the wins, you still have the opportunity to finish strong. And Luis Nieto is doing that. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think he was going to have this type of night tonight, but well done.
The gap between Canola and Marty's now about 3 seconds. That gap is starting to fall off a bit, but don't think it's enough time here as we are working lap 34 of this 35 lap event.
Yeah, it's not looking like it, is it? Looks like the race is going to come up a bit short of that hour mark here tonight, but it's been a plenty stressful race nonetheless, so maybe these guys deserve a bit of a break. Be able to punch out a little early here tonight.
Yeah, 150 kilometer races here on Monday nights. So, depending on the track, some might run shorter than others.
Yep, we run to a distance, don't we?
So it's starting to become a Nieto Nunez show here at NAGP, Brad. These guys have been really putting on a show this season.
They have, and I've talked about it through a couple rounds of this championship so far this season. It's Luis Nieto collecting only his first win in our first event here at NAGP, and has since not looked back. So after that first win, I mentioned it last week, he's got half the races won here up until this event. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Now Matt Taylor, he's gonna still, well, he's going to retain, actually looks like, second if they finish in this order in the championship. So Matt Taylor is still up there, but yeah, boy, our veterans are still lurking.
Taylor will pick up 2 points on Nieto, but Nunez is going to move into second. So you got 24 points for a win, 20 for second, 18 for third.
Yeah, and pretty impressive also, we should remember, it was Ronny Nunez, we mentioned at the top of our broadcast, having to take a DNF out there at Albert Park for technical issues as well, so even more impressive.
Ronny Nunez, final corner, making his way down the straight to take the win here at Interlagos. Very impressive job here for Ronny. Matt Taylor is going to come home in second. Luis Nieto will take third. John Houston going to come home in fourth with an outstanding run. Chris Moses was going to hang on to fifth. Canola is going to fend off Marty here for sixth. Marty's going to come home in sixth. Jonathan Cuppett, a strong run, going to finish in eighth. Got to give credit for to some of these guys. Lithgow, Graychicks, all staying on the lead lap. Nemsev, Myers, great job. I'm going to drop from the race here so I can save the replay and bring Ronnie up for some post-race comments. Ronny Nunez, you copy?
Hey guys.
Hey, wow, great run there tonight. Incredible race. Very impressive performance there. Gotta tell you, it was pretty crazy, pretty intense start to this race. The first like 10-15 laps, well, pretty much your whole first stint was pretty dramatic. Watching all you guys duke it out there pretty cleanly, and man, Thiago Canola with the pole, but he sank like a rock after the start. You worked your way up to second, holding off Nieto, and you stayed out there for a while, so we're guessing there you must have double stinted your tires, and you came out 4 seconds ahead of Taylor. That was it.
Yeah, I didn't know if Matt was gonna double stint his tires, but yeah, it was a really tough race, especially the first stint. The top four were really close together. There was nothing between us really, and it could have gone either way. I only won because of strategy, and that's it. But yeah, speed-wise, it was really close.
Well, so you saw Matt Taylor, when the pit stop cycled through, come out, and it was pretty obvious at that point he did not take a double stint of those tires. So did you feel like you really had to start pushing at that point in case he did have that tire advantage?
Not really, because I was carrying like really low fuel. So I knew the car was going to be fast right away, even though the tires were a bit worn. It wasn't going to be a problem, and I knew I had at least a little bit of speed to fight with Matt, because in the first stint I was slowly catching him up when Moses caught me.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out what happened to Moses there. He kind of fell off that battle there late in the stint, so you guys kind of checked out from him, you and Nieto, but I tell you what, that was a very impressive performance considering all the pressure you guys were under, you especially, and Nieto with a solid third place finish there. So congratulations. It's off to Watkins Glen next week. I'm sure you're familiar with that track, but you're going to be carrying some weight, pretty high speed track there. What are your early thoughts going into next week?
Man, that's really gonna hurt at Watkins. I mean, having weight, there's no way around that. I'm just gonna put in a ton of practice. Hopefully my PC issues are solved, I hope. And yeah, looking forward to scoring some points, even though I've lost way too many points due to circumstances out of my control. But yeah, I'm still gonna have fun.
Well, you managed to stay connected tonight, so that was a good thing. And tough break last week, by the way, last Thursday. That was a shame you lost. You dropped out the way you did. But either way, good job tonight, Ronnie. And can't wait to see next week's race, see how you do.
Thank you all. Thank you, Brad. Good night, guys.
Wow, so pretty impressive run there. It was a pretty amazing first stint all the way around, Brad.
Yeah, it really was, and I guess I guess the takeaway. Well, I'm not sure what the takeaway from this race is exactly, but I know it was a great one to watch. I think it lived up to its billing, with the exception maybe of a couple of drops we didn't expect, a couple DNFs. But other than that, yeah, we did get a bit of a point shake-up, maybe not as much as I anticipated going in, but boy, Watkins Glen is another beast altogether. I tell you, these guys think they have a set of challenges for this place. Oh boy, they're going to have to strip off some of the downforce there at Watkins, I'm sure. So it's going to be a delicate balance those guys are going to have to deal with next week.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun to watch. So, yep, like Brad said, next Monday night we'll be back here at 9 for round 6 from the Glen. Hopefully you guys can tune in for that. But until then, we'll be back on the air Thursday night at 9 for Super Pole from Spa in the GT class. So hopefully you guys can tune into that, all four of you. So thanks guys for watching here tonight, and we'll be back next week. Have a good night. Thanks, Brad.